What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Footy with an Edge. We're back again with another live stream today, and we're here to talk about the explosive presser that Ruben Amram's just given. And honestly, I have never heard somebody spit facts more than Ruben Amram has just done in this presser. Let me just say hello to some of you guys that are rolling in here. Siddhant5, waiting for that overlay. Absolutely. It's Shantyard, bro. Just call it by its name. Bruno Fernandez says Amram smashed that press conference. That also brought a lot of positivity back from the fan base. Absolutely, it did. And seriously, like look at his words, man. Look at how charming he is. Look at how he's just a leader you want to follow into battle, right? Based on everything that he said. And that's something that I can appreciate. That's something I can get behind. Shaylin says hello. Hi Shaylin, how you doing, man? Nice to see you again. And Muizi Saname says, at work, boys, we'll try to listen live or after. Please do discuss Ruben's comment about youth being entitled at United. Exactly. That's the first thing we're talking about. Radha Bujun says, what interview? So Ruben Amram gave a press conference for the Villa game, and that's where he's talked about a lot of these things. At least that's to my knowledge. Rona Vram Rutun. Damn, you're going to have to tell me how to say your name. Says hello. Siddhant says hello all. Hello, hello. Joao Tavares says hello. We've got some people rolling in now. How you guys doing, man? Cool. So I'm just going to give it another minute and then go into all the quotes that came out from today. Enoch Babalola says hello. Where are you guys watching from, man? Come on. Tell me where you guys are watching from. Give me a city and a country in the chat before we get started. I want to see everybody rolling in. Sorry, I'm 10 minutes late, guys, today. But I had some stuff to take care of, and unfortunately got delayed because of that. But we're back with the Shantyard overlay. How nice does this look? Siddhant says a lovely presser, but this is an embargoed version, right? Still some to come tomorrow. I think so. Yes. I wouldn't really call it a pre-Villa conference. What would you call it then? Oh, you're saying because there's only one question. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Chris Wheeler put out a story: Cobby and club relationship broken, open to sale in January if we can find a buyer. Ooh. Okay. Interesting. Siddhantis from New Jersey, United States. Very nice. Good evening, Novo Mesto, Slovenia. Very nice. You've got to be our first Slovenian viewer. Joao Tavares from Azambuja, which is near Lisbon in Portugal. Yeah, you've told us that before, but thank you for reminding us. Niall's watching from Ireland, West Coast. Very nice, very nice. All right, we've got okay, we've got someone from Abuja, Nigeria. Very nice. And I mean, I've heard you guys say this before, so don't feel like I've forgotten. It's just hard to remember so many different destinations, right? Guys, we got almost 50 people watching. Can we get some likes on the stream, please? As you guys are rolling in, please help the stream out. Let me get rid of my name there at the bottom. Okay. So, what was I saying? Let's start with the first item on the agenda, which is Amram's presser, right? So, Amram was asked what he thinks about the Copy Menu t-shirt narrative, right? The free Copy Menu t-shirt. He immediately shut down the narrative. He said selection is based on performance, not on optics or punishment. His bigger concern is related to entitlement, not related to disobedience, right? So not that somebody's acting out, but somebody, I guess the reason for the acting out is what he worries more about than the actual acting out. He says discomfort is necessary for growth, right? And these are some of his quotes. He said he's not going to start because of the t-shirt. He's not going to the bench because of the t-shirt. If he's the right guy to play, he's going to play. Sometimes strong words are not bad words. Difficult moments are not bad things for kids. My office is always open. Nobody came this week. So he's saying essentially, even though there's all this noise in the media, nobody came to speak to him directly, right? That they had a problem. And that's what he's trying to say. Like, you know, essentially be a man, come talk to me directly about what your problems are. We still have some more people. Okay, just Ronald is fine. Edwin Capoto watching from Port Elizabeth, South Africa. Hey, I know where that is because I'm a cricket fan, and I know there's a stadium there where usually whenever India tours South Africa, they usually play a game there. So that's awesome. Renandi Powell's watching from Jamaica. Hopefully you're safe, bro. Hopefully everything is good around your area. Kabi has been below par whenever he got the chance this season. Yeah, absolutely. And Yaidi's watching from Nairobi, Kenya. Very nice. Very nice. Welcome to the stream, guys. If you're still catching up, I just went through a bunch of quotes from the Amram presser, where he essentially said, the Kobe Mainu t-shirt incident is not going to make the difference between him getting selected or not. He's going to select him when he thinks it's the right time to select him. Yeah, honestly, do I think he's going to play against Villa? I doubt it after all this stuff has come out. And I think Rishi just said something about Chris Wheeler. Rishi, if you wanna send me the X story or whatever on the Chris Wheeler stuff, I'll take a look. Yeah, Shaylin, we're gonna cover the Bruno interview. The next 3 topics are all from the Bruno interview, so don't you worry, brother. Chris Wheeler, Kobe Mainu. Let's see. So Chris Wheeler exclusive. This is from the R Red Devils subreddit. Kobe Mainu open to permanent Man United exit. Insider tells Chris Wheeler how Star's relationship with club is now at breaking point and reveals why he sees no future under Ruben Amorim. Mainu sees no future for himself at Old Trafford under Amorim, and if a loan move in January included an option to leave permanently, then he would now consider it. Napoli are still at the front of the queue. Let me get this over on this side. Napoli are still at the front of the queue, and there's a growing optimism in southern Italy that Antonio Conte will get his man this time, reuniting Mainu with Scott McTominay and Rasmus Højlund. When pictures of Jordan wearing the t-shirt reached Naples, there was a buzz of excitement. According to club sources, other members of the Mainu camp are more sensitive to his long association with United, such as his father Felix, who's been a calm presence on the sidelines for the entirety of Kobe's life in football. Mainu feels he's been left with little option but to seek a fresh start, and it's understood that Amram has reiterated to him in private that he's a direct competition with Bruno for the attacking midfield role in his 3-4-2-1 system. Yeah, I mean, I'm so done talking about this story, guys. The Kobe Mainu thing, but honestly, we have to talk about it because it's it's been ongoing for such a long time. But anyway, so the first agenda item that I've already discussed is Amram's presser. I thought he spoke very well. In so many ways, I was like, this is the manager I want for my club, right? Who came out and addressed it entirely, because honestly, do we not all agree that entitlement is a big problem at this club? It is a huge problem. Every single youth player that you can think of that's come in, Mason Greenwood, Marcus Rashford, Kobe Mainu, Garnacho, all of these guys have been incredibly entitled. And the only one I can think of that's been super respectful, who, by the way, deserves a lot of credit himself, is freaking Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay has been so, what's it called? Why is my name still showing in the bottom? Scott McTominay has been so respectful of this whole situation that it's incredible for me to see how he's handled himself, right? And his CBS Golasso interview that he did with Kate Scott, it just made so much sense. He was like, no, it's not United that's the problem. It's related to your personality. It's related to how you're handling things. Shaylin and Ayush, I see you guys are waiting in StreamYard. I'm just gonna go through the first couple of minutes here of the notes that I have for all the agenda items, and I'll bring you guys in. Okay, just sit tight. So let me go to the next agenda item, guys. We've talked about Amram's presser. We've talked about him doing a good job. Let's go to the next one here. Why do I have 2 chat windows open? Okay, next item on the agenda is the culture change. So the Bruno Fernandez and Rio Ferdinand interview. There was a lot of stuff that was said in that. I've picked out the three best topics, and we're going to talk about them quickly, and then open the floor to everybody. Right. So first of all, great freaking interview. If you guys want to go watch it, you'll see what our captain's actually made of. Right. What he brings to the club and things that you don't see on the pitch as well, in terms of setting the agenda, in terms of being the captain during a very difficult time in our club's history. So he says on the Kobe Manu situation, on the young kid situation, he says the modern dressing room, the culture has changed. Bruno contrasts the 2020 United squad with today's squad. He says there are fewer experienced leaders, more young players. The atmosphere is looser, more relaxed, less hierarchical. This isn't bad vibes. It's a different era that needs managing, right? So it's not, he's saying it's not worse, it's different. And I found that very interesting. Then he says, when I arrived in 2020, these are some of his quotes. There were a lot of experienced players. Now I look at myself as Juan Mata and Nemanja. He's talking about Matic. He says football is softer now. The young ones put music in the dressing room. They make noise. I feel like the dad of the dressing room. Very interesting. And he says the entitlement doesn't come from arrogance. It comes from absence of reference points. So essentially, not having enough leaders in the dressing room, other than, say, Bruno and maybe one or two other players like Casemiro, they don't really have the reference point of like who I should be like, right? Role models, I guess, maybe. He says young players today aren't malicious. They are just growing up in a different football culture. And he says Amorim is reacting to a structural shift, not a single incident. So Bruno's coming out and trying to manage the situation himself as well. He's saying this is not really just related to Kobe. It's not related to Garnacho. And I get this feeling too, right? This is related to the whole club. It's not just a single thing. So I find that super, super interesting. Then let's go to the third topic here, which is what United's standards actually are and what they actually should be. And we have a nice little Kobe Manu with a with whatever that's called. What is that thing called? The thing that babies suck on. Anyways, nice little image for you guys. So the United standard, right? What does it actually mean? Coming straight from our captain. He lays out the non-negotiables, right? So he's essentially, his quotes are running, sacrifice, helping the team. This is mandatory. Quality wise, you can have a good game or a bad game. Intensity wise, it can never drop. That should be mandatory in any club, not just Manchester United. So he lays out the non-negotiables. He says running, sacrifice, intensity are mandatory. Quality comes second. This is about effort, not talent, and standards are about what you give every single game, regardless of your form. And that just sums up Bruno, right? Like, you know, we like to have a go at him because the game runs through him, and you know, the team goes as he goes. I understand that, but listen, at least he's putting out the effort every single game, right? You don't see him just lazy walking around, not trying. And so this perfectly reinforces Amorim's message that he wants the standards to be equivalent across the team. And when you feel entitled, you're expecting patience without putting in the effort. And so standards are efforts first, rewards later, criticism later, right? And I find it so interesting because every single one of us that works any type of job, any type of anything really, is used to this, right? You have to put in the effort first. You get the promotion later. You don't get the promotion first and then get the and then get the, you know, what's it called? Then you have to work hard. It's the other way around. So, I mean, this totally makes sense to me. Moving on to the next thing here. Oh, it's a pacifier, right? Thank you. Moving on to the next thing here, which is leadership is risk, right? So how do I put this? The quotes from Bruno in the Rio interview. He says, "If I don't take risks, I won't help the team. If I play safe, people stop criticizing me, but the team suffers. You can try to solve all the problems yourself. The day I stop demanding from you, I've lost belief in you, right? So this sums up Bruno in sort of a few quotes, right? Because we keep criticizing him for giving the ball away, but we also know that as a counterattacking team for most of his time at this club, he's had to be the one to take the risk to play the balls that um get Rashford in behind, get Greenwood in behind, get Pogba in behind, whoever it is. And if he doesn't take the risk, we suffer. And so he explains why he must take the risk, even if it hurts his reputation, which he's not been afraid to do. Playing safe protects stats like your passing accuracy, not your teammates. Managers have told him to stop trying to fix everything by himself, and he directly quoted Eric Ten Hag and Ruben Amorim, saying that he should stop trying to do too much. Leadership means carrying blame without deflecting it, right? And I hate to go back to Harry Maguire here, but how many times did we see Harry Maguire, the captain, come out in a presser and say the attackers didn't do their job, right? Even though we lost like 3-0 and there were mistakes that he made, his other defenders made, he would say, oh, we didn't take our chances. Who gives an F, Harry? You need to take the blame without deflecting it. And he says entitlement is reacting publicly, deflecting blame. Leadership is absorbing pressure and staying inside the process, as in keeping things within the club. This is the bridge between Amram's frustration and Bruno's burden. And this is also the bridge between the culture Amram is trying to set and what the young kids today are following, right? So these are our topics of conversation for today, guys. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of overlap between what Amram said in his presser and what Bruno Fernandez discussed with Rio Ferdinand on his interview. If you guys haven't checked it out, please go check it out because it's very, very interesting stuff. Cool. Let's open the lines. Let me also read some of the comments and then we'll open the lines very soon. I've been talking for a while there. Kobe should have used Casemiro as a reference point. Absolutely. It's as if Amram is watching our live streams and has heard us talk so much about the entitlement amongst the academy players. Absolutely. If you look at all the toxic situations at the club, all of it comes from the academy graduates. Thanks, Kobe. If you can't be patient, good luck elsewhere. This is just rumor mill. Oh, okay, maybe I missed something there. Amram always drops bangers in his press conferences. Absolutely. Shaunak says, very good presser from Amram, all things considered, but why ask the United manager whether Villa are the title contenders? Yeah, dude. Apparently there was only one Villa question in the presser, so interesting. Andrew Reese says, I'm from South Africa, Durban. Hello, Andrew. Cool, awesome, guys. Hello, Reds. Hello, Rishikesh. How you doing, man? We got 110 people watching, guys. Only 24 likes on the stream. Please like the stream and help us out. Peace and blessings, everyone. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom indeed. Did you see what McTominay said when he asked about players doing better when leaving United? Yes, absolutely, I did. And it was a fantastic interview from McTominay as well. So kudos to him. Shaylin, where'd you go, bro? I was going to bring you in right now. Hello, Shaylin? Okay. You got some work calls. Okay, no worries. Ayush, how you doing?
What's up? How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
How is everyone doing? I haven't been on the stream for a while now. I think maybe 6 days a week.
Has it been that long?
I don't know, but I've been
Few
uh,
calls,
I've
maybe.
been
Few
thinking
calls. I
of
think
getting
less
on the
less than
stream
a
for
week.
like the past few days, and every time when I try to when I'm about to go on, like I think anticipating that maybe you're going to put me on, and then something comes up, and I have to leave.
Oh,
So
right.
it's been a good few days of discussions about different topics similar to what you have right now on the show for today. And
Mm-hmm.
we have another input from Amarim now to discuss about these things. And I watched this the press conference a few minutes ago, And I was expecting something less, a little more subdued from him, because when he started with the Kobe topic, I saw that he really did not want to answer that question. And let's face it, guys. I mean, I am tired of hearing that question again and again. What's happening with Kobe Menu? What's happening with Kobe Menu? And I think with the t-shirt situation, it's more about just staying relevant and staying in the news cycles rather than actually making a point about what Kobe is going through. So I think that's a publicity stunt, and it has been identified as such. Even it has backfired so much that even the Man United legends who were openly supporting Kobe until now have gone against him.
Well, I
So
want to hear what
I
Paul Scholes
watched
has to
the
say on
overlap
his
episode as
podcast.
well.
I want to hear what Paul Scholes has to say now on his podcast about the free copy menu thing,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
because so I don't know if you watched the overlap episode, Andy, but Roy Keane made some very logical statements, and he almost like when he questioned when he questions Gary Neville on this, that what would you have done in our time? If there is there are so many instances when a player gets one match, one opportunity to maybe say 10 minutes on the pitch to make a mark. If not, the competition is so high that they don't get another chance and they're out of the team. Kobe
Yeah.
has been getting regular minutes, and people will say that these are not minutes sufficient enough. But I have been pointing out time and again that he has got out of 17 appearances this season till now. He has got 11 starts, 11 appearances or 12 appearances. If we, yeah,
11 in the Premier
12
League.
appearances, including
11 in the
Grimsby.
Premier League. He's got
Grimsby
like
is a start,
220
90
minutes.
minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got
Burnley,
220
it was
minutes.
45 minutes, a full half. He got 30 minutes against Bournemouth, got 32 minutes against Everton, 25 minutes on 5, 6 different occasions, 10 minutes or more in another 2, 3 instances. So he has been getting minutes which would be considered a luxury for young and upcoming players, and players who we know today to be good, to be legends. They got much less than this, and they made their mark in that time. So it's quite surprising that even after all these instances, all these opportunities, if Kobe still feels that he's being trapped, then I'm really sorry, but there's no solution for him
Yeah.
at our club.
Guys,
And
to quote the great Eminem, look, if you had one shot or one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted in one moment, would you
exactly,
capture it or let it slip? Okay? And
yeah,
Kobe has let it slip again and again and again. And there's no other way to
yeah.
look at it.
Yeah, and I think what I suspected has now been confirmed by Amarim in his presser today, that it's not just Kobe, it wasn't just Garnacho and Rashford. This is a systemic problem, a culture problem within our academy. And when he says entitlement, I really want to clarify. I don't think I've said this when I've been on the stream, but I've said this in the comments a lot of times. There is a sense when I think the way in which our academy players behave, I think they have this in their head that this person before me got an opportunity to get into the first team. So with by doing X amount of work, and that if I am doing that X amount of work, I should also be given that right.
Well, it's entitlement,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, that's the first part of the entitlement. Second part is I am playing for Man United, which is obviously at the academy level, you're trying to gas people up that Man United is the biggest club, and kids, 12, 13-year-old kids are obviously going to build this up in their heads that I'm playing at such a huge club. So I must be one of the best in the world, and the best, and they are the best, some of the best talents in the world. But to realize that talent at the adult stage, at the first team level, you still need to keep working, keep grafting. And the opportunity that you get to play is still a privilege, even though you have been brought up by the club. And that's
Yeah.
something that they perhaps feel that they are a cut above the rest in a way that, that arrogant way that we play for Man United, so we are uh, elite, or
Well,
we are some
it's not just
at a
that,
different
Ayush.
level.
It's also the fact that these kids are looking at Max Dowman at Arsenal, right? Who got
Yeah,
his chance at 15 years old. And now JJ Gabriel is like, I want my chance as well, right? And they're
yeah,
looking at all the other players that Arsenal has given an opportunity to. They're looking at Rico Lewis. They're looking at Nico O'Reilly at Man City, right? And
yeah,
Rio and Gumoa at Liverpool. And all of these kids, that's what I'm really worried about because the Kobe situation is come and gone. Like it's done, right? The chapter's closed.
yeah,
I'm not really worried about that. It's about the next set of kids that are coming in who will feel like I deserve this, right? If they get it,
yeah,
why can't I get it? I'm as good as him. I'm as good as that guy. I'm as good as the third guy, right? And that's the problem. That's when the real entitlement steps in.
yeah.
But Ayush, we've got some other people waiting. I'll bring them on for the one-on-ones,
Sure,
and I'll
sure,
bring you
sure.
back for the panel later. Okay.
Sure, no problem.
Cool. Thank you so much, Ayush. Cool. We'll bring in Roberto. Roberto, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm well, thanks. Come on, give us your 2 cents.
So I just want to piggyback off what you guys were talking about with regards to entitlement. So I think anyone that's in the workforce these days, especially like in management. So I myself manage a team. Entitlement's like in the younger generation. I think that's a big part of it. I don't think it's only a club thing. I'll have people start working for me, and then in 1 to 2 months, they just got out of training and they're asking for raises, promotions, and things like that. And they do have that entitlement. Not necessarily a bad thing, I guess. Like if you don't ask, you won't. Like nothing ventured, nothing gained. But I definitely think it's something that still does need to be worked on within a competitive setting. In the academy, we need the right personalities, basically. So we do need to, like, I guess, coach or train that humbleness into our squad, put the time in. And I think that's kind of what we're seeing, right? Garnacho, same thing. I'm getting tired of talking about it now. I think
You're
everyone
telling
is,
me,
right?
brother.
Like
I'm live every day talking about it.
It's ridiculous. And it's kind of like you try to give people the benefit of the doubt. I was on a few days ago and I was saying, we don't know if Mayu knew that his brother was wearing it, and then it's coming out that like he was okay with it. I mean, it's obviously just rumors. We don't know. But I did find it interesting that Amorim did say, like it wasn't him that wore the shirt, so he's kind of like just waving it off. And I don't know if it's just to kind of like shut people up and be like, let's drop it.
I think that's what it is. Yeah. I think that's what it is because the club internally is looking at it and saying if we just put Kobe in the team now, you're just gonna like give the message to all the kids that if you're not happy, just have your brother or sister come and wear a stupid t-shirt at Old Trafford, right? I'm surprised they haven't banned Jordan Mayu from Old Trafford.
Honestly. I also wonder too, like, did we learn from kind of like the little mess we made with regards to like with the bomb squad, if we want to call them that, of like basically making it clear that they're not wanted at the club and then kind of having to take cut prices for them. So like if we are planning on moving Mayu on, maybe this is kind of like we need to save face so that people don't think he's not wanted and we get a decent fee for him.
That's exactly what it is. They've learned from the Garnacho situation and realized that listen, Kobe isn't being as big as a twat as Garnacho was. So let me just look at his situation. He's got more value. He's an English player, homegrown player, all that stuff, right? So we can get a lot more change out of him in terms of the market. But I think in January, if somebody throws in an offer, we're gonna accept it. Is my guess, and it's probably gonna be a loan to buy type of situation that we just decide to take. Art, what's up, man? How you doing? And Be Cool's here as well. We got Ed saying Fortnite hoodie goes crazy. Yeah, I'll show you what it looks like on the back. It's pretty cool, actually. I got this from H&M here. Sometimes they make really good stuff. Cool. Tell me how you feel about the Bruno interview.
So I didn't finish watching it. I'm like halfway through. But I think we got some really cool insight onto his positioning I thought when he kind of mentioned how, like, you know, he's expected to play in almost that number 10 position when we're attacking. And I think that's one of the things that maybe us as fans weren't really sure as what Amorim wanted as that second pivot. Like, does he want to attack with that extra man and leave one in the back, so like 1-6, or does he want 2 sitters? And like, maybe it is just because Bruno, like, you have to build the team around Bruno at this point, like you have to fit him in. But I thought it was interesting that it's, you know, how tactically he thinks about things, which shows a lot of like his success and his mindset, right? Like risk. That's huge. Like, I think the most courage it takes is to play that final ball as someone that's played maybe not competitively, but it still is. It takes a lot of courage to do those things. I think a lot of people forget that.
Also, the picture he sees in his head right before it happens, because I go back to if you remember, in one of the Man City games under Ollie, he played that early free kick to Martial, who scored with his left foot past Ederson. Like, we had no chance in that game. I remember me and Rishi were talking to each other before the game, like, bro, we're gonna get spanked. This is gonna be another 7-0. Like, we just didn't know what was gonna happen, right? And or I guess maybe the 7-0 hadn't even happened yet. So that's how worried I was, right? I was doing premonitions there, but I was so worried about that game because we were like, oh, he's gonna get sacked, blah blah blah, and then he just pulled something out of his hat, right? And actually, speaking of the next game we're going into, Villa, Morgan Rogers has been doing that a lot this season for Villa, just pulling something out of nowhere, right? And so we want to big up Morgan Rogers because he's an England player going to the World Cup, etc. But Bruno, because he's Portuguese, he's just never been accepted fully. You know what I mean? Because if Bruno was English, dude, these guys would be raving about him. Like, he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. He would be platformed so much higher than he is right now. But how's Sean feeling today?
I think, as you can see by my name tag, I was livid because there's still these like remnants of just the past, and I think we just got to like go past these certain conversations and just kind of let the club just go through it. But hey, we're United fans.
Live it about what?
Live it about just like people are saying we should get rid of Bruno. People are saying that I'm being very reductionist, but they're being entitled.
Give me some names. I'll go.
Nelson,
take care
man.
Of it.
I'm tired of him, man. I was so angry. I was yelling. So I'm working, and then I hear this dross, scandalous takes in my back my my ears. So hopefully he can come on and defend himself here. But I want to piggyback onto the Aston Villa. First of all, I rate Morgan Rogers. What a player, especially after having that little period of drought. He was playing he's right now. He's fully deserving of being in that England squad. So he's a huge threat.
You know what he's having? He's having the Cole Palmer at Chelsea season.
Yeah.
Very much carrying the team, just everything going through him. But I also think sneaky. I think I didn't bring this up in my preview, but I think Amram's going to do a man marking job on him because very much he is the guy that does everything, right? And Buendia, when he comes off the bench, is also somebody that we need to man mark. But Nelson's asking questions in the chat. Hi, Noob. Long time no see.
Oh, do you live with Ayush? You guys have the same background.
Yeah.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. How you doing?
I'm hearing a lot of voices, so I don't know. This is the first time I'm coming on.
That sounds like a therapy thing, Anoop.
Maybe that's beyond this our pay grade.
I don't know if that's like just restart your PC type of settings, you know?
Yeah, I will restart and return back. Thank you.
Just make sure you listen to us through StreamYard, not through the YouTube.
Yeah, maybe mute your YouTube. That might help. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, Rishi says he recognizes Anoop. Yeah, he was
Okay,
calling
can you
in
hear
when we
me
were
now?
doing the Discord calls. Yes.
Yep, we can hear you.
Oh, okay,
Good.
great.
Good.
So I had YouTube on, so both of them were playing at the same time.
Yeah.
Tech
Anoop,
support.
aren't you in tech in San Francisco?
I am in the Bay Area. Actually, I don't live in San Francisco, but I live in Livermore.
Bay Area. Yeah.
And
Anyways,
yes, I do work in tech, and it's been miserable here.
Fair enough. We've all been there. I worked for Bay Area companies for like 7 years. So I know
That's
exactly
great.
what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Bay Area is a nice place, especially with all this tech startups and other things. But it's expensive
Okay,
as hell.
guys, I'm just gonna give you some TMI here, but I've been to San Francisco 2 or 3 times because my work has called me there, and I've never seen human feces on the road. Okay, anywhere else. I'm just saying, and
he's not even referring to actual feces. He's talking about people.
No, I mean actual feces. Unfortunately, I've seen like people feces everywhere, but the human feces, it's anyways. But that's like downtown San Francisco, like specific
downtown.
areas, like
You see
Tenderloin and all that.
Prominently, it's downtown San Francisco, where I believe.
Tenderloin for sure.
Tenderloin, Tenderloin.
Dude,
most downtowns are like that, unfortunately. So
yeah, but if you go to North San Francisco, my God, like some of the homes there, and also just past the bridge as well, it's crazy. But anyways, guys, I digress. We're not here to complain about a liberal city, a sanctuary city.
Shout out Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh God,
exactly. All right, Anoop, go on, man. Tell us how you feel about the situation here.
I see fans going blah blah blah, blaming the manager every instant. I mean, he leaves the door closed, he leaves the door open. It's still his problem. What do these players own, man? I don't know. I've been watching Man United since '97, and what do these players even own? They don't perform on the pitch. They don't, they're too much drama off the pitch. I mean, what do they own? Why is it always a manager's fault? And I don't think he said anything aggressive. Let them earn the spot, right?
Yeah.
They have to play, they have to perform, and then earn the spot. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you remember, I came here sometime in the past. I run a youth team here. I have exactly the same problem. They're like noise off the pitch and no performance on the pitch. How do you manage? He's trying to win games here. It's not like he's running a charity institution here, right? He has to win games.
Yeah.
And if you're not offering stuff on the pitch that he needs, and look at the direction Premier League right now, which is going in the direction of heavy physicality. You have to win set pieces. You have to be good off the ball. You have to win duels.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Kobe. I'll tell you, I like Kobe. I like all these young players. But until your game develops, you should have no pathway to the first team. Believe me, because this is Man United first team. This is not some local cricket club or football club I run here in Bay Area. So here you can come here and play. I'll give you chances. If you want to play and come and show me, come play for me. I don't mind.
Yeah.
But this is Man United first team, and you're getting paid 1 million or whatever figure that you're getting paid. You better perform. Simple.
Yep.
Yeah. Anoop, how old are the kids that you coach?
So I have anywhere between under 11 until under 21. Right?
Oh, okay.
But this is a cricket club. It's not a football club.
Okay.
Anoop, have you had any of their family members show up with T-shirts saying free?
They don't do that here because we are not prominent in the media. Maybe if we do become prominent in the media, then that will happen.
You'll go on Instagram. And you say, "Hey, what's this?"
Yeah.
Here I have the same problem, right? So I ask him to go at a certain position to bat. He says, I have a stomach ache issue. I have this issue. When we were kids playing cricket, we used to die to be on the pitch. It doesn't matter. I would be like 101 with fever, and I still go and play. Simple.
Yeah. Yep.
So these little youth, who are coming from the social media era, they're weak-minded. They don't have drive. They don't have determination. A manager cannot change this. Believe me, this has to come from within, and unless it comes from
Anoop, you know what it is. It's the age of instant gratification.
Exactly.
Right. Because we've grown up with if you're playing on FIFA and you're playing bots and the game's too difficult, you just go to semi-pro difficulty and just try to score 10 goals. It's very easy. Everything's in your hand, right? Everything's in your hand. You don't like something, you don't like a movie, you just start scrolling on Instagram, right? It's very instant. So in a way, I can see what Bruno and Ruben are trying to say, right? They're saying that it's actually more structural than just individuals being idiots, right? And I guess that's what you're trying to say as well, because it's not even about professional football. You can even take it to amateur cricket. It's the same
Exactly.
problem.
Same problem.
So it's a structural issue that we need to get used to and stop being like the back in my my day in a way, right? Because it's not really going to help in what's it called, manage them or even understand them, and it's just going to push them further away. That being said, though, Kobe and his camp, I'm not going to take the excuse of like, oh, I'm just treating this as like a FIFA game, because when you get to a certain level and there's a certain amount of prestige, institution, image, brand, those things attached to it, and the amount of money you're making, then you need to wisen up and say, okay, maybe I as a 20-year-old am an idiot because I grew up as the FIFA generation, but the people around me who are advising me, the people in charge of the club, should be putting standards up for me that force me to behave a certain way. Because didn't we hear Ousmane Dembele? He had a problem with coming late to training, playing FIFA till 4 a.m. in the morning, etc. Look at him now; he's won a Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, there you go. Earn your sport. That's all I said, right?
Yeah.
Also,
Of
like,
course,
it's
come
okay.
back to Kobe. I know he's a great player. He can do things in a small side game. Like I'm not small side game, like small spaces and other things. But this is not 5-a-side. What does he offer off the ball? What does he do with set pieces? Can he run without the ball? I see none of it, right? No, there are issues. There are serious issues. He's just 20-year-old, and why should anyone be entitled at 20 years of age? You take Beckham and Scholes, their game was evident to see at 20 years of age. They could do long range passing. I don't see Kobe doing any of that. If he wants people to be like very compact with him so he can pass around with like a rondo or whatever you do in football, that's not how, unfortunately, 11-side game works, does it?
No.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would love to hear your thoughts.
Roberto, go for it.
Yeah, the thing too, like, I think it's okay for players to be angry for not playing, right? I think that's very normal, and like you'll hear coaches, managers all say that like it's okay when players have like a little reaction for getting subbed off or whatever. Like it's fine. I don't think anyone's pissed off that he's not happy that he's not playing. It's just how they're dealing with it.
Exactly.
Like that's all it really is, right? It's like that character piece of it, and it's just funny that like you kind of mentioned this earlier. We have these ex-players that are pushing for these young guys to start and everything, but like they wouldn't have dared acted that way when they were playing or when they were younger.
Isn't
right?
it kind of ironic though that you have people prior to the Kobe shirt incident that were just saying, "Oh, it's so unfair that he's not getting a run out. It's so unfair this." But then these are the same guys that they knew exactly, especially with the British tabloids in the 90s and 2000s, they were like scandalized all throughout. I remember whenever I'd go through Heathrow, I would see like plasters of like Bex and Posh doing XYZ, just like the most innate, like just random things that they could just pick and tear apart. So they know that the profile has always been like that. But going back to what Anoop was saying, and Andy, I think this is something that we should explore too. There's a generational divide with that type of like catapult to stardom now. Footballers these days are micro celebrities. They always had that little community and that village around them, but now it used to be you had to provide a certain level of prestige, get certain awards, get to a certain pay bracket back in the 90s and the beginning of the Premier League. Now these players are in the academies and they're running their own socials. They have their own brands. They're doing all this. You talk about Kobe and Lenny, people were saying, oh, it's so good. They're like, the boys are together. They're on yachts and whatnot. It's like, no, dude, they're going to Chrome Hearts. They're wearing like hundreds of thousands of dollars in jewelry, basically without being emerged stars in the team. And another one, when Rashford was at the Knicks game courtside, and people are going to counter me and say they can do whatever they want. And I totally agree. They can. But when they've gone for that type of rapper, blingy lifestyle, it's not a color thing. It's not. It's a notoriety thing. They want to be celebrities. They want to have this appeal. So with that fear and anxiety that that's not going to happen or they can't retain that type of lifestyle, that's where I think the urgency from Kobe comes from. Is like, I got to go somewhere else to furnish this because I see my brother, the Love Island boy. He loves the attention. I low key love the attention too, regardless of what people want to say.
So, also, Sean, JJ Gabriel, I just checked on Instagram, has 330,000 followers. He's not even 16.
That's nuts.
Yeah,
I'm telling you guys, this is a problem that's going to come bite us in the ass because this guy's going to think he's way too big for his shirt. And I don't care if you're the next Neymar. We just can't afford to have that type of a culture.
Maybe we can get a few years of like good Neymar out of him. That's what I'm hoping. We get at least maybe 3 to 4. Then he just F's off to, Barcelona or wherever he wants to go.
I think he's going to want to leave before that. This is going to be
could
like
happen.
the Santos Neymar, not the Barcelona Neymar. I think you're hoping it's the
What?
Barcelona
By the way,
Neymar.
what a player though. If you ever have time on your hands, go watch highlights of Santos Neymar, especially with the
taking
headband. Oh my god! Made
I'm
it look
surprised
like
he
he
didn't
was
get
up against
stabbed in
Grimsby.
Brazil.
It was
Exactly.
like a
Surprised he didn't get
Ronaldinho
stabbed.
regen, basically, like,
Yeah.
or even better.
Guys,
Did it?
I just want to add too, like, if you guys, so just going back to Sean, what you were saying. So I'm going to talk about boxing a little out of left field, but like, if you guys have heard of like Ryan Garcia,
Oh yeah.
he was basically a celebrity before he did anything big in boxing. I mean, whether he did anything big in boxing is debatable, but he was a
He
celebrity.
has.
first.
He was Ryan Garcia is very accomplished.
alright.
Give him
I mean,
his
so
flowers.
What I want to say is that because of that celebrity status that he got, he stopped caring about learning and adding to his game, right? Or adding to a skill set. And we saw that when he went to go train with Canelo. He basically, there was too much discipline and learning required, and he kind of just gave up and started doing his own thing. And I get worried that we're going to see that with, we're seeing it with Mayu, right? There's no way.
It's very Ravel Morrison-esque. It's very actually Gascoigne-esque because Gascoigne had obviously the substance abuse problems. Ryan Garcia, leading up to his last fight with who's that? Gervonta. They said that he was like drinking during training camp. So this is something that permeates through culture. It's not that we have a drinking culture because that was booted out the game, post Wenger, post Fergie. But now we have this like superstardom where they think they can do, nitrous. They think they can drink. They think they can party, have fun, be that man before they've ever had to have toil and grit. Before the age of 25, like your brain's not even fully developed by then. So it's just way too much too quickly. Is what I think.
And when you think you're the finished article at 20, like you're not. Right.
No.
So like if Amorim's telling Mayu, like, I need you to be quicker to return, like to defend off a transition or X, Y, and Z, and you're not adding that to your game or you're not attempting to display it.
I'll keep it even simpler. I'll keep it a buck, Roberto. I don't even care about the pace, the stamina. Those are things you have to really work hard on. I refuse to believe a player of that quality cannot do long passing. Yeah. Switch the play from one side to the other. Seriously? Yep. I could probably pick that up, dude. I'm so out of shape. I run out of gas coming up the stairs. If I wanted to work on it, I could probably switch the play. And he can't do it to save his life. So I don't know what we're talking about.
To just add here, right?
He tried to show that, and then we never saw it again. I can't remember which game it was, but I remember saying like, "Whoa, that's new." It was like gone. We never saw it again.
Yeah. To just add to this, right? I was seeing comments on X where they're saying, what does it say about Amorim systems of 3-4-3 that if you cannot accommodate a generational talent like Mayu and other things? I asked the same question in reverse. What does it say about a young player who cannot do even one basic thing that he's asking out of you, and you can only play in a 4-3-3 system? Besides, which team right now is playing with a 4-3-3 system and winning the league? You tell me. I don't know. Maybe I'm ignorant. You guys have to educate me. But
no, you're not. Especially Andy. I always point back to that one clip in the first training. Amram is with Mayu, and everyone's saying, "Oh, look, a midfielder in Amram is going to help a midfielder in Mayu." He's asked for one thing: show your body positioning from the center backs, make a quick turn, move the ball out wide quickly. We've still not seen that yet. And it's been over, 30, 40 games under Amram. And people also want to say that he didn't get the exposure under Amram. He played so much last season. And then he's come back.
Playing every game. He was playing every game.
He had 250 minutes less than the second season under Ten Hag. And he had like 1,900 minutes versus 1,650 minutes. That's not a big difference. He got the minutes. And Paul Scholes is the one spreading this misinformation, talking about 18 months he's lost in his career. Brother, it's not even been 6 months. It's not even been 6 months this season. He played a lot last year. But guys, let me just refresh the panel. There's a few people waiting in the background. I'll bring you guys in. Roberto, Shant, Anoop, thank you so much. We'll bring the other folks in here. That are waiting in the background. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Cool. Let's bring in let's bring in Semix. Let's bring in Edco. Let's bring in Be Cool, Nelson, and let's go with Robert as well, because the two Kenyans come together.
I just want to start this off
Hi, guys.
by
How's
telling
everybody?
Nelson, I challenge you to a ladders, tables, and chairs match because of the Bruno slander. I'll set up the date and the time. You just got to show up. And if you win, we'll sell Bruno. If I win, we keep Bruno.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
if what was you made the Goonies reference? If he's anything like the Goonies guy that he described, Nelson, I think you're in trouble.
Well, I'm also cheating. I'm bringing Sean.
Well, you're saying he fight. Okay, so you're going up against a Armenian and a Bosnian man. So I would be. I think they fight dirty, from what I hear.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm just saying that. What do you want to go into geopolitical history here?
Armenians don't fight dirty. We don't even fight. We just get slaughtered.
I mean,
If you really want to talk history,
I was talking more the Bosnian side. Yeah, I
We
was
also
talking
get
about.
slaughtered.
Well, okay, this is
Yeah, we
this is
just-
going in the wrong direction.
Yeah,
guys.
exactly. Yeah,
We
exactly.
should stop
Going
it
in the
there.
wrong
I'm
direction.
talking about wrestling here.
Yeah, no, I know, because I was gonna go on the Kenyan side of things, and it's just gonna get messy.
Listen,
You know? Like,
as a longtime player of the game, as a fan of the sport itself, before any team, I'm a fan of the sport. Social media presence, all this social media talk. You got players like Lamine Yamal showing off on social media more than anything else. Like, if you're a footballer and you're on social media and you're posting more of your party lifestyle than you're posting of your clips and your goals on your social media, that's a big problem. And I think like Lamine Yamal will be running into these problems, and a lot of these young players will be. But then you have other guys that aren't doing that are performing quite well, right? Like Cole
dude,
Palmer.
Yamal's mom is selling dinner tickets for $800 or something like that, or 800 euros, so
Yeah.
that they can have a chance to have dinner with her and take a picture with Yamal's mom. He's not even there,
Exactly.
and that's
So
what they're
it's like,
doing. And, yeah.
It's more of how much advantage can we take of our son's success on the pitch off the field. And then for me, as a fan of the sport, I see that and I'm like, I don't care what he does on the pitch anymore. He's making.
Yeah, but
he's
like, can you
making-
really knock the hustle though? Like, does that have anything to do with Lamine? Do you know what I'm
We're talking
saying?
about
Like,
football.
I'm just saying, like, if I was an athlete and my mom started doing that, and she could, and she started making that kind of money, doing literally just showing up to a dinner and being in a banquet hall, like, what does that have to do with me? Do you get what, especially
she
if I'm
has a son
17,
that's making
like,
so much money, she shouldn't have to be doing that.
You're attached to the brand, Semix, and that's not something you want
but
attached to your brand.
you guys are still thinking like a little bit like, how do we know that that kind of thing isn't getting her in with some politician? That it might be more than just the money. It might be something that she's using to grow her own connection base.
No, but you're not
other
growing.
things.
So you can use your own image and do that. Like if she had her own career and she's trying to do it, or if she's trying to network in private, that's also different. But doing this $800 for dinner with with my son's whatever, the mother of Lamine Yamal, that's just cheap.
I didn't
it's
say
just
I
a cheap
agree with
strategy.
it. I just don't know how that's bad for Lamine. Like, I don't know, because Ed said
Okay,
that
like,
now it makes me not want to watch Lamine Yamal play.
No, I don't.
Like,
I
I
don't it's
don't-
not.
Like,
It
you
doesn't
can
make me
say
not
his
want to watch
mom's a
him
bad
play.
person. I'm okay with that.
No, I
But,
didn't
like,
even
what
bring
does
his
that
mom
have to
into it. I'm just saying his antics off the pitch are overshadowing what he does on the pitch. Is what I'm just saying.
And the second, listen, Semix, the second he doesn't play well, doesn't perform well, or there's some scandal that comes out, guess what everyone's going to point to? Oh, you don't have the right support in your life because your dad is, his dad just married like a 23-year-old or something like that, and he's still like not even 18,
Yeah.
19.
And he got
Again,
an injury, a normal sporting injury, and people were saying he got an STD.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. That's all because of the social media presence. He's posted these pictures with this girl that's like 10 years older than him, and he's out in wherever. It just, listen, in my club,
Yeah.
ban all social media, and that's it. That's what I would do.
Hendricks,
and also
Hendricks
Yamal
dating
is
someone.
being
and
Yeah,
it's just the
let's
way-
go to Robert. Sorry, let's go to Robert. He's been trying to
Yeah.
say something. Go for it, Robert.
also like when it comes to Yamal, like he's actually being afforded some grace because he plays for Barcelona. Tell you what, if he played for United, like Kobe or what, everything could be bad. Carragher would be on Monday Night Football speaking ill of him each and every single Monday, and you just be tired of Yamal and you want him to leave. Also, we have seen that, like, it just trickles down. If you have a bad company around you, just trickles down. Look at guys like Pogba, Rashford, Garnacho, and right now it's happening. It does you no good at the end. You might say like it doesn't affect Yamal, but it will at the end of the day. You just have to be up straight with reality and you be like, yeah, this thing is gonna end up affecting him at the end of the day because you're just as good as the people who are around you. Fact of the matter. There is no two ways about it. I'm just as good as my friends, as good as how my parents are, but you can change it. But how many people become outliers? How many? Which percentage? 10, 5?
Yeah,
Exactly.
and
I want to point
it's
out.
not even. It's not even. Sorry, one second. It's not even about Lamine Yamal being an idiot. I think at 18 years old, we can't expect him to be the role model and the perfectionist and all that. He's gonna do dumb shit. We've all been 18, right? The point is that his dad is not 18, his mom's not 18, right? The people who are in his ear shouldn't be 18 years old either. And it sounds like they're more immature than even he is. He might even be the most mature out of all of them because he understands, right? It's his image, his career on the pitch. And you just never know how these things go, right? Like you can have a flame that burns bright and dies quickly. And that's the worry you have with these players.
You could be a dumbass, just don't broadcast it to everybody. And here's another thing. Liverpool were in that slump and Arne Slot went on vacation. Do you guys remember that? He went to Dubai, I think it was.
Wasn't it Ibiza or something?
Ibiza, yeah, whatever it was. And he was like a DJ or something like that, or he was with some DJ. And everybody's like, why is he doing that? Look at the slump we're in. If they were winning, it would have been like he's celebrating, right? So when you put that kind of stuff out there into the world, you're gonna get crucified for it. And I think with the whole Kobe stuff, I think we just need to cut our losses with that because it's not gonna stop. You know, he wants to play, which is a good thing. The player wants to play. Everybody's overlooking that. He's mad that he's not playing. He said, give me a loan. I just want to go play.
No,
But
Ed, I stop you there.
Yeah.
Because Kobe just does not want to play. He wants to play to get into the World Cup. So he wants to play for himself. It's a selfish motive.
Correct. And I was going into that. If you're getting outworked by Ugarte in training and you get picked over Ugarte, that's on you. You can't blame the manager for you not playing. Because we all know that's where the team gets picked is in training. And there's obviously stuff he's seeing in training from Kobe. It's probably the lack of effort, in my opinion, because I see lack of effort in games. Every single game he plays, there's a lack of effort. He takes a half touch into a half space and people are like, oh, he's so good. Okay. Like he did one thing and then he does 5 things wrong. Right. So I don't know. I'm just sick of the Kobe
I think
talk.
here's the thing, right, Ed? I think the natural reaction to that would be, and I want to hear from Be Cool right after I say this. The natural reaction to that is, well, he's been told he can only play in Bruno's position. So what do you mean he's competing with Ugarte? But I will tell you guys, in the last game, he came in ahead of Ugarte when Casemiro went off, right? So he did play in Casemiro's position against Bournemouth. So it's not that he's refusing to give him a chance like off the bench instead of Casemiro in certain games. It's just that, especially with the 4 at the back, that's the thing I don't get about this whole free Kobe Mainu thing. They've clearly been training for at least 2 weeks now about changing the shape and going to a back 4. And that would be ideal for Kobe Mainu, right? If we're playing a 4-3-3, him being one of the 3 midfielders, that would be ideal. So why come and rock the boat now? That's the thing I don't understand. But Be Cool,
Also,
your thoughts on this. 1 second, Robert. Let's just hear from Be Cool. He's been waiting.
So I said on some stream that I believe Mainu is going to be picked up for the starting 11 this weekend. It doesn't matter if I'm not as sure as Ed is about that it rains less than Ugarte, or he trains worse, or it isn't being, if he is not being a professional. We are not in the training. We cannot evaluate that. For me, that's not a discussion item. What I think is that when Amorim picks one or picks other, he picks having in mind a game plan and what the player can give to the team. And I think that he tried to adjust. He sees that Mayu has a higher ceiling than Ugarte. Ugarte for Amorim is not playing at the level he played at Sporting. Maybe because the league is way faster. Maybe because he hasn't adapted yet to England. I don't know what is the problem with Ugarte, but what I see is that he is making the room to Mayu start playing. If Mayu is capable of doing that or not, it's going to be up, in my opinion, it's going to be up to him, because he has to show in training and he has to show in game that he can do what the manager is asking of him. And I think that this weekend we'll see that. Semix is a bit, I think is a bit sad that I don't use some graphic language.
He was on my channel cursing up a storm, Andy. I was like, dude, you're going to get me banned. You better get everybody banned. Don't just get me banned. Get everyone banned if you're going to do it.
Just because I was defending that we need a center back. A mean center back.
Okay, so Andy,
a center back that...
I don't know. It's Andy's show, so like if he wants to change the subject, it's totally up to him. But what he's talking about there is that we had a big discussion about how half the people that came on my show were arguing that we need a center back more than we need a midfielder. And that's where that came from. And it literally, like, I wanted to end the show 30 minutes earlier so we could all get here on time. And it just went on this storm of its own about center back over midfielder and how our young center backs are costing us games. That's where that's coming from.
No, it's not the question of center backs.
Oh yeah, sorry. What are your thoughts on that, Semix?
Oh man, it was on my stream and I didn't even answer. So like now you're putting me on spot to answer on your own stream, which is fine.
Go for it.
And I'll tell you, like, I'm so freaking confused because the both sides made such good arguments to me that I'm like, holy crap. At this moment, we would do better with a better center back. And we're talking like high level center. Like people were arguing that like when Pep Guardiola came in, what he did was he got the center back and the goalkeeper correct. That was one of the first things he did. When Klopp went into Liverpool, he fixed the goalkeeper and then he waited a whole year to get Van Dijk and he got that, that correct. We just did the goalkeeper and we need the center back. And I got to tell you, hearing people argue that made me start thinking in the same fashion of like, maybe we need that superstar calm center back that can just close down the shop, because these young kids, I love them. I like Euro and I know you like Aiden Heaven. I see the future in those kids, but right now, I don't know, man. They convinced me that we need a center back, but I got to tell you, like, come summer, we need a midfield. But right now, maybe a center back would help.
So here's why, Robert, sorry, I'll just answer that. I'll come to you next. Here's why I still lean towards a midfielder, right? I do agree we need a center back. Here's why I still need tend towards a midfielder. Heaven and Euro are only going to get better from here. Casemiro is only going to get worse from here, right?
Oh, good point.
There's no, like, we're reacting, and it's a fair reaction. We're reacting to one game where both of those guys played and we conceded 4 goals, right? But how many games have we seen of Casemiro, not just this season, the season before that, the season before that, just stinking up the gaff and not being good enough because he doesn't have the legs, right? And listen, his good games are good enough to win us the game. I'm not arguing with that. But his bad games are really bad. Whereas Heaven and Euro, this is a natural path to them getting better. Having games like this is the only way you learn. as a goalkeeper, as a center back, that's the nature of a defender. You make mistakes that cost the team big, whereas Anthony missing a chance doesn't cost us as much, right? As a right winger, or Sancho not giving the right pass, those types of things. So football is a lot more forgiving on the attacking players than it is on the defensive players, or the defensive midfielders, or the fullbacks, those types of players. So in my opinion, I would still say midfielder first for that only reason, but I will say that the center back issue has been raised as a big fat issue in the last few games, and it has come closer to where the midfielder issue lies. Robert, go ahead.
So,
Hello.
for me, I don't think
I think
there's any use of
Robert, I think you got some
buying a
internet issues
midfielder
there.
Yeah.
this generally, because I still. So not my audible. Am I clear now?
Yeah, now it's clear.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, I don't think that even though we're saying a midfielder with Bruno still in the team, it's going to do. Let me just. 1 minute. Let me just 1 minute.
Okay.
Okay. So, do you think that?
Andy,
Andy,
let
do
me
you
give
think
you
that-
the.
Go for it.
before-
Sorry, I
before Andy-
just wanted to give you the counter for what you are saying, Andy. It was the same
Sure.
counter that I said to Samix. You try to solve the problem in the midfield. Then the other teams, what are they going to do? They are going to play direct. They are going to play set pieces. Have you solved your problem?
Yeah, but do you?
I have
Beeful,
solved
would you
one of
call
my
it
problems.
A problem if
Okay.
the Lick was not injured?
I think you had that problem because against Tottenham, Euro made 2 mistakes and the league made absolutely 0 to correct those mistakes. He didn't adjust his position. Even when we have more players defending, I'm not remembering the game, but it was a transition that the other team had 3 players. We had around 6 or 7 players in our box, and we still conceded because no one knows how to organize the defense.
But you
That's
don't need
our problem.
You don't need a defender to
You
organize
say,
defense.
Andy, you say that we are reacting to a 4-4. No, we've conceded goals after goals after goals after goals.
Be
We
cool.
are one of
Have we
the
not-
worst
have we not
defense
seen-
in the league.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can.
But we've seen previously defensive midfielders set up defenses. Like, it's not like it's just a center back role. We've seen goalkeepers do it. I hear the center back argument. The issue we have is we lack control in our midfield. That's one of our biggest issues.
No, we lack closing space down, and we lack delaying. You are talking about control because you are saying that the game, our midfield is being overrun by the other players.
No, that's not what I mean.
Defenders must.
That's not what I mean. Let me tell you what I mean. I mean, when you have control of the ball, you don't rush the game. You don't rush. When you have control of the ball, you're not immediately passing to the defense of the other team. That's the issue we have now. There are multiple times, go rewatch the game. The multiple times when we get pressured, we lose the ball. When Shaw made the pass, it's because he lacks the person to pass into who's comfortable under pressure to then let go of the ball. We lack those things. We lack fundamental parts of our midfield. Because as good as Bruno is the guy who should be in the final phase when he's creating chances. You notice he actually lacks when he's deeper in. The center back thing, don't get me wrong, I agree with you. We need better center backs, no denying it. I literally stated, if we want to be a really good team, we need center backs more than we need central midfielders. But the issue we have currently is that our central midfielders don't balance us out properly. That's my issue. Because even if you bring in new center backs, if your center back, let's say a person plays a long ball, and then your center back, who's a dominant center back, heads the ball away, the other team is going to win the second ball. Because you're going to have a slower Casemiro next year. You're going to have a slower Bruno next year. Every single year, these guys are going to get slower. Well, it's just a matter of time.
Nelson, I think the point I'm trying to make is you talk about getting a more experienced center back, somebody that can organize the defense. That is supposed to be the job of somebody like a Maguire. That is supposed to be the job of somebody like a De Ligt. And you said that we're not reacting to one game. Well, before that game, we didn't play those two center backs, which means we played either De Ligt or Maguire or both of them.
In our best center back pairing, the person the person who was telling them what to do was Van der Sar. It wasn't Vidic or Ferdinand. Vidic and Ferdinand literally always state the reason why they played well was because of Van der Sar. It's why when Van der Sar left, we brought in De Gea, we noticed that we lacked, people didn't understand what they were supposed to do. Eventually, I think you can still build a team without the requirements of, we're struggling in midfield right now, in my opinion. Like, there's a reason why we only play well for 30 minutes. Once our legs are gone, it's over. This isn't like this isn't like a unique thing. We saw it last season and we're seeing it this season. And if you want to go all the way back, you saw it under Ten Hag. You saw it under Ole. We've been lacking midfield balance for so long, whether with good defenders like Varane, whether we've had good defenders in this club in that period, and we still struggled. So that's why I think the one thing we've lacked, really, we got one good defensive midfielder, Matic, and we looked really good. We had one. We've only ever had one good DM.
Also, Matic looked the best when Herrera was also playing.
Also, Herrera too, yeah. A good balance in our midfield. Yeah.
Guys, let me be cool. I'll give you your last final thoughts, and I'll rotate the panel because we still have like 10 more people trying to join the studio. Go ahead, be cool. I'll let you finish.
My question is our problems in the midfield when we are pressed should be solved how the team played in the beginning of the season, where we've seen the patterns, where we've seen the diamonds, where we've seen that after the diamond, we had a guy in the central position receiving the ball that goes out of the diamond. We've stopped doing that. It's not because there is pressure. It's because Amorim probably has worked on another issue to resolve. The team has so many issues that he cannot keep on training the same thing after time. And these players still haven't made those kinds of passes, those kinds of that idea of the game. It isn't ingrained in them. So without having that ingrained with them, they are going back to what they used to do before training that. That's the problem that we have. If they train more those kinds, and Semix has made a lot of videos about that. If they train more those kinds of patterns, they will play to those patterns better. But you have a whole lot of problems to solve. That's why I don't think the problem is a midfield problem. Yes, Casemiro needs to be replaced. For me, that's a given. That's a given. But to stop bleeding goals, we need to have a top tier center back.
Yeah. Be cool. I don't think I think even you will agree that even if I think it's midfielder over center back, it's not like I'm giving out of 10 I'm giving midfielder an importance of 10 and I'm giving center back the importance of 5. It's more like if midfielder is 10 for me, center back is 9.9. Left wing back is also 9.9, right? So I agree with you. We have lots of problems. That's why I actually think, to your point, if we just change this center back, it's also not going to solve the problem. It's also not going to stop the bleed, right? We're just picking hairs between what's going to have more of an impact. And for me, not having legs in the midfield is one of the biggest problems you can have, because when you don't have legs, when we say legs, we mean like mental and physical capacity. When he gets gassed, your brain also stops working, right? I don't know if you guys do like long distance running or any type of exercise. When you start, you're much fresher than when you're closer to the end. And this guy, Casemiro, is getting closer to the end faster than anybody else in our team. And that means he's going to start making bad decisions, right? Like the free kick he gave away. You saw him trying to run back towards Tavernier, and he eventually just gasses out. He's like, I'm just going to slide tackle him and get the yellow card, right? A prime Casemiro just gets to him a lot earlier and stops the ball, doesn't even give the foul away. So anyways, guys, pleasure talking to you guys. I'm going to rotate the panel, bring the other folks in. Thank you so much for the chat, and a lot of people waiting in the background. See you, Samix. See you, Nelson. We got Shaunuk, we got Nightwing, we got Art, and we got EIA. EOI. You guys have been waiting for a long time. Art, how you doing, man?
Andy.
I can barely hear you, Art. If you can speak up a bit.
Well, I gotta work on this. Give me a sec.
Yeah. Maybe I can boost your mic settings here. Hold on. Yeah. Say something again.
Better?
Yes, I think so.
How's everybody? Good evening. Oh, good morning, wherever you are.
Yes, sir. Well, it's good afternoon for me and Shaylin. We got EO here as well. EO, I saw you were on camera earlier. There we go. How you doing, man?
Good, not bad actually. Thanks for having me.
Go on, introduce yourself. You're the only first timer here.
Am I actually? Yeah, the first time joining the live. Can you hear me clearly? Just making sure.
Yes.
Oh, fantastic. So yeah, my name is Zia. I live in the UK. So United fan, for as long as I can remember. So yeah, thank you. I think I should say this first. I tell all my friends about you. Thanks so much for championing the community. I think it's really great to have the almost very positive, United community that you can potentially have right now. Great to have your content. You're very honestic, and great folks as well on Discord. Really great to engage there. Thank you.
Yeah. I like to think of this community as the Obama supporters when he was still in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Like we're rooting for Amram to make the difference and go be the change that we want to see. We're seeing it early.
Yeah, I think for me, really, it's not really about Amorim for me. I think it's about the success of the club. So it's not about. If along the line, if we see that we're not getting the progress with Amorim, then I'm happy for us to change, right? The same thing goes with any player, right? I wasn't supporting for Elon to leave the club, but if that's going to be the best thing for him, right? Leaving with a good legacy, whatever the case may be, then that's great. But the whole negativity and the sense of I would say the intentional ignorance, for lack of a better word, that a lot of people have in the club, where a year ago we're talking about the fact that we need to rebuild, and then a year into the entire experience, everybody's talking about, we should be competing with Arsenal, Man City, and my question really is do you, even if 15 wasn't the right position for us last season, let's say we're supposed to finish at 10th, right? Arsenal spent 200 million plus, Liverpool spent 500 million. Man City spent 100 million plus as well. So these guys really strengthened. We also tried to strengthen. We cannot, imagine that in just one season we'll start competing with them as much as possible. So I think you made a video where you were talking about is this the right position for us right now? And for me, I think where we are right now is good. We can do a lot better. We could have actually, won a few other games along the line. Fulham, these last two games that we've also drew. But along the line, I think it's gonna balance out, and we'll be in a very good place. Yeah. I see the progress, and I'm happy about it. Really.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. First of all, welcome to the community, and people like you is actually what makes it work, right? People like Art, Nightwing, Shaunuk, Shaylin. All you guys are, I guess, think very similarly to how I do, and that's why this works, right? What I'll say based on something you said there is, I think Amram is trying to set a culture at the club that we're the whole fan base is just not realizing. We're just so used to the standards being slipping further and further. That we don't realize that Amram was hired not just for the system, but also Amram the man, right? Amram, the guy who doesn't slump down to anything else that somebody else wants to do. And so this whole thing with the U team, the whole thing he said in the press conference, even Bruno's interview with Rio Ferdinand, right? I think I was going to say Rio Fernandez there. Rio Ferdinand is all. It tells you a lot about how the club is thinking about all these problems. And so for me, like backing Amram right now to be the guy, I made I compared him to Obama there. The reason I do that is because he seems to be the only guy that we've seen so far that's going to put his foot down and not just try to win games so he can save his job. Because let's be honest, that's kind of what Erik ten Hag did. I don't blame him fully because, he didn't really have the proper structure behind him and he was never going to be Ineos's guy. But that's where we are. So we just need to, kind of suck it up and go with it, right? Let's go to Art. Let's test your mic now. How you doing? I think you muted yourself. I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Now I can.
Does it work?
Yeah, it works. Yes.
Yeah, I'm a tech buff. Well, I don't know. There's so much talk going on. I don't know what the hell. I mean, look, we live in an age of multimedia and everything. Let the people say what the fuck, excuse my French, what the hell they want. I don't get it. Who cares? We should be focused on soccer and that's it. The truth is we are exactly where we belong. And if I look at the last game, the Bournemouth game, it was pretty good. But there's just too many things not working, even after a year. And that's the key problem. It's not a question, is Mayu good enough, or all these questions. Or even the discussion of taking out Bruno, it's nuts. You can't, if something's broken, you don't take out the working parts, He's the only guy who's actually producing something, and we got to build around that. That takes time. I think Mayu's he's gonna break through. His last game was pretty good. I don't see it all that negative. And let everybody talk. I'm surprised Amram is actually, still spending his time talking to all these goddamn journalists.
Well, so Art, I think the problem is the problem is, well, first of all, the journalist asked him one question about Villa in the Villa presser, and I'm pretty sure the one question was whether Villa's a title contender or not. Right.
I know, it's crazy.
So the whole media is a circus around United. It's always going to be a circus. But what I want to hear from the panel, right? We'll go to Nightwing next. I want to hear from you guys. I don't know if you saw the preview I did for the Villa game, but I looked at every single one of their goals in this 10-game win streak that they have. I know they lost one game in between, but out of 11 games, they've won 10. That performance, like that set of performances, reminds me more of the Ollie era when we won all those games before he got the contract than it does remind me of something like a Klopp or a Pep. So would you rather be where Aston Villa is right now, or would you rather be where we are right now, where you can clearly see a system, a repeatable pattern, but the execution is not quite there, right? I want to hear from the panel. Nightwing, maybe you can kick us off.
I actually have notes on this one. You ready?
Yeah.
Last year, total goals 44. Currently, right now, 16 games in, 30. 54 goals allowed. This year so far, it's what, 26?
Yeah.
Total last year, 42 total points, and we're at 26 already. We are sixth. If we all had that at the beginning of the season, that we were going to sit in sixth right before the Aston Villa game, we would score 30 because everything's working goal, but we're still giving up too much. All of us would have taken it, right? And I think that's what a lot of people are. But the way that a lot of people take it is, oh, we're this close, we should replace Bruno and have somebody more stable or something. And that's another discussion that we can have later. But I think we're great. I'm so and you know me, Andy. I'm the Ryan says he's the most optimistic guy on your panel. I think I am. If we're building something, it's not going to work right away all the time, right? You're going to talk about, let's do how many Microsoft things that they burned down in their garage until they finally got one going. And same thing with Amram. He's building it. You may not like him. You may not like a back three, but he's doing it his way. And I don't know. I like it right now. We're in a good spot. I don't think last year pre-game versus Aston Villa, the question would have been, do we have a chance even to score a goal against Aston Villa? And this year it's more, are we doing a draw? Is it going to be a close game? Are we going to give up the 4? Like there's some uncertainty, but at least there's still the possibility of winning the game. I feel like we're going to win 3-2, and I said that yesterday.
Yeah.
But I feel so good about it. And I think maybe as fans we take it too seriously, and people get upset too easily when things don't go the way. But it's sport. Sometimes you lose.
We haven't even lost though. That's the crazy thing. We've only lost against Everton. It's been a lot of draws that people were even calling the West Ham game a loss, even though it was a draw.
Okay, I'm the most optimistic person, but the Everton loss was like 2 losses because the way
that's fair.
Situation.
That's fair, but it still only cost you 3 points, right? Even though it felt like 6 points, it only cost you 3 points. And guess what? Last year, because we would have been down where Everton is, it would have felt like a 6-pointer. But this year, it's only a 3-pointer. Because we know we're better than Everton. We're moving upwards. So great points from Nightwing there. Let's go to Shaunak and then Shaylin. Shaunak, how are we feeling about this whole situation?
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree with the premise that if at the start of the season we consider the situation that we have right now, I think most of us would bite the hand off like so. And also, it's not as if we have had like bad performances. The 2 I can remember, it's like the Brentford one and I think the City one. So we have had bad performances, but the results, the performances and the result don't seem to, they don't match perfectly. For example, the Bournemouth game, 4-4 is not like we should have scored like probably 6 in the game overall. And the goals that we conceded, they were like individual mistakes. I haven't watched them back, but the free kick Semenyo finish was absolutely insane. You can't expect that finish. Like a manager can't expect that finish from the opposition player. And yeah, I think if we can, like sort of stabilize our results to a certain extent, like for example in the second half when we drop off, if you can manage that, then I think we'll be able to, because we're 6th right now. What, Forest, Spurs, I don't know, Everton, you can probably expect us to win, but it was just an off game completely. West Ham, these 3 games, if we had like at least like we were in the lead in those games, so if we can protect those leads, I think we would be in a much better position right now. 6th right now, I'll completely take it. And yeah, I think I'm satisfied. I would like us to go higher, but I'm completely satisfied with where we are right now and the situation. So yeah.
Shaylin, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, also I would like to add, I think Art mentioned it, that he's like with the Mayu situation, everything, the noise around the club, it's more he's more positive, and I think that's the same case with me. I don't look at the Mayu situation as it's not a a nuclear situation. It's just a player who's not playing, and he's going to be upset with the fact that he's not playing. It's just the fact that his brother did the whole thing, and he actually played well in the Bournemouth game, and Amorim himself has said that he has played well in the Bournemouth game. So it's like I don't look at the situation as a complete disaster. It's just a player is upset that he's not playing with the manager. You could probably resolve it privately. You don't need to post things on Instagram and like cryptic posts here and there. But yeah, I don't look at it in a it's not.
I think Shaunak. So here's the thing, right? It's a little bit of a reaction. The Kobe Mayu situation, the reaction is a little bit of a combination of even the Greenwood reaction, the Rashford reaction, the Garnacho reaction. I think the whole fan base is downloading or uploading or whatever the metaphor you want to use onto Kobe as a reaction to like, we let the Garnacho thing get out of hand. Yeah. We let the Rashford thing get out of hand. So let me just attack this head on and heavy before it gets out of hand. And that's honestly a big misread from the Kobe PR team, because listen, not every player is destined to succeed at every club, right? Look at Kevin De Bruyne. He was at Chelsea. He succeeded at City. You look at Lukaku. He was at Chelsea. He succeeded somewhere, I guess. And then we have all these other players that have been at other clubs. Salah was at Chelsea. He's a Liverpool legend now. So you think if those guys acted out in this way, Liverpool would have thought a second time before being like, ooh, do I want to go for him? Yes, he's 40 million, but he does come with the baggage, right? You know what I'm saying? So that's a bit of the problem. You need to stop looking at it as short term, as let me get 6 months of game time so I get to the World Cup, and think more the long term. Like, what can I do so that my career goes well?
I think also just one point before I complete. The World Cup is adding this huge baggage. I don't think if we didn't have the World Cup, I think we won't have this whole Kobe situation where he's asking for he's in his right place to ask for game time, but it's not this big situation that Kobe Mainoo is not getting the game time that he wants.
Well, so here's the other thing, right? We've seen players put international tournaments before the club, and I'm looking at Luke Shaw, right? What did he do? He stayed out injured a whole year, went and played one game, and then got injured again. So again, this is more stuff that is, we've seen the history of how this goes, and we're seeing the present. I'll tell you what, Kobe goes and plays and gets in the Serie A team of the season for 6 months. I don't think he's starting over Morgan Rogers. I don't think he starts over Elliot Anderson. I don't think he starts over any of these players. So it's so stupid that you're trying to do this at this time, especially when you already know internally that we're switching to a back four. He probably leaked that news himself to Laurie Whitwell, right? So I don't understand this. But anyways, Shaylin, we'll go to you. Give your thoughts on this. There's also a super chat from Devo. He's saying, why is Xerxes ready to fight, but Kobe needs freedom?
Personality differences, I guess. I don't really have an answer to that apart from it. But just a quick note. Rishi said that if we get 150 likes, he'll gift memberships. And I also said that I would join him in that. So if you guys can like it, that would be great.
Guys, like the stream. We're 60 likes away, but I know you guys can do it. If you're watching, we're going to gift memberships.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so I think there's a couple of interesting things that were said by Bruno in that interview with Rio, right? Especially on the tactical demands that Amram asks for somebody who is playing inside of that position. So let's just preface this with the fact that Kobe is in direct competition with Bruno. You're in direct competition with arguably the best midfielder in the league, if not in the world right now. And then here's what the expectation is that we haven't necessarily seen Kobe do inside of games when he started. So the idea that Amram has is that when you're in Bruno's position, when you're in that position, it's not necessarily also just staying within that position when we don't necessarily have the ball, but you're going to press up to their opposition 6 and then come back, right? You're going to do that a lot. Like you're going to press and then come back, press and then come back, press and then come back. And I think that was really interesting for what was mentioned, because we see Bruno do that all the time just because of the high energy that he just has in that game. I'm not necessarily sure I can point to where Kobe has done that inside of any of the cameos that he's made or inside of any of the games that he's played. But you can make the argument saying that, well, when Kobe comes on, he's coming on next to Bruno. He's not necessarily coming on in replacement for Bruno, which is, I think, a valid criticism. But if you're in that position, then you're responsible for screening, recycling, and then the positional discipline about being in that defensive mode. He doesn't do any of those things. It's not necessarily because he doesn't have that game intelligence. It's probably just because he just doesn't feel like that's the way that he wants to play. So if you have a player who is openly, I'll say, or is resistant of following the set of instructions that the manager is looking to give you and execute on the pitch. You also have then a player with such a charged emotional response from the fan base and goes out and does these types of things. It's a lose-lose situation, both the club and the player. Why is it a lose-lose situation for both the club and the player? For the club, it's because you have to let go of an asset that you would probably value. For the player, you are effectively trying to force a move away due to you not feeling like you have, I say, the best relationship inside of the club. And to do that, you're actually tarnishing your own personal reputation and then the fans' opinions of you on your way out inside of that exit. So it's not like anyone's going to win from this. This is kind of where it stands. But I'll pause there. I said a couple of things, so feel free to react to them.
I would like to add a small thing that you mentioned about the 6 and the 8 role, where Menu comes on more for Casemiro than Bruno. I think in my personal opinion, Menu is much weaker in the 6 role than he is in the 8 role. Because if you were to like do percentages, I would say Menu is like, let's say Bruno is our ideal number 8. And I would say Menu is like 60% of that, because like defensive intensity, pressing, all of those things are maybe, and the long passing and the chance creation, he lacks. But in terms of the Casemiro, I don't really see Menu in possession. Maybe he can do that, getting the ball
Yeah.
off the center backs. But the amount of mental work that Casemiro does, the amount of like the drop off that we see from Casemiro to Ugarte or even Menu, whoever it is, it is insane. Casemiro is one of the key players in our defensive system,
I
and
just,
the way
yeah, I totally agree. I don't think you can teach that though, right? Like that's experience,
Yeah,
quote unquote, that comes
yeah.
in from like the games and whatnot. I think the other
Yeah.
part too is, Mainu could be that ideal number 8 for Amram if he just worked on the passing situation, because Amram actually gets frustrated with Bruno on the positional indiscipline and then the high risk that he wants to play, right? And I think Bruno mentions that, right? Like every single manager that I've had does not like the fact that I want to play such high risk football, and Amram wants a little bit level of control from him. So it's really interesting that you bring that up, and I feel like, oh wow, Kobe, you could probably be the guy if you, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the
Damn,
thing that's
jeez.
kind of annoying to me, because he's 60% there, but you just have to do that extra, 20%, where, maybe he feels like there's a bit of injustice, but still you have the profile to, like become that. So yeah, like open to the ball.
I'd like to point something out. I kind of disagree with the passing with Mano. If I look at the last game in Bournemouth, what's really developing in Amorim's game is this pass between the lines. So it's not the high ball on the other side. So Aiden Heaven was doing an excellent job doing that. The other person that I thought was really doing well with that was Manu. And somebody who excels on that is Xerxes, So I think we're just seeing a lot of changes happening in the way they're approaching the game. So in the beginning, the safe part was always to switch to the other side, high ball over, and so on and so forth. But I don't really think that's always constantly the solution to Amorim's game. I think this
I
pass
agree.
between the lines, I think Mano's pretty good at that.
No, I agree. But there's like 3 scenarios, right? In where Bruno is
Only
performing
3?
a little bit better.
You're an optimist.
No. But there's 3 scenarios inside of the game where I think Bruno's performing a little bit better than, or a lot better than Kobe would be. The first one is around, if they're man marking the 10s with midfielders, then they're just opening up the middle, and the striker is then going to be, or whoever is in that number 9 position is going to be the focal point for Bruno. I think Kobe and like Bruno in that point, great, that works. If you're looking at when the back line is getting squeezed, then the wing backs are typically going to be the outlet or the outlet. Bruno recognized that. I don't think Kobe does, right? And it's because he's not scanning that way, or he's not looking that way, or he's not necessarily trying to be intentful or approaching with as much intent.
Totally agree with you.
In that position.
I totally
and then
agree
if the
with you.
midfield jumps, then what does he do? Like, right?
But the point that I just want to get across is it's just that Amorim has implemented different styles in the game. So on the beginning, if I look at the first couple of games, it was always this long pass, left, right. Now he's actually focusing now more and more on the center. In the last couple of games, a lot went through the middle. I was totally surprised. And I think that's where Manu is slowly going to, find his feet on the ground and is going to get more chances. A lot of things are just not working. We just got to be honest. It's I don't know. It's like one leg is longer than the other.
Is it not working with Manu, or is it not working with Bruno, or is it
in
just not
general
working with the system?
Can I be honest?
It's slowly working, but
Yeah,
it's still a long way. It's still a
Art,
long,
if
long
I
way.
may, I have a question for EO, right? I have a statement to make, and then EO can respond to it. The truth is, when I look at Manu, the problem I have with him is when he switches off defensively, right? Let's talk about the passing thing later. And I'm not even saying switching off defensively in Casemiro's position. I'm actually talking about doing the same effort defensively that Bruno does. And now, if I have to be completely honest, right, I'm being completely objective about this, picking no favorites. Bruno has taken 10 games this season to kind of figure out that defensive side of the things, right? Because the first 10 games, he wasn't really that good at the, picking up the runners. We saw that in the Fulham game. His brain, even, was it the Arsenal game where they scored from the corner? That was Bruno trying to pass it to Euro in our own box, and then Euro kicks it off somebody and it goes off him for a corner, and that's where they score from. So the truth is, Kobe probably needs those 10 games to come and become better defensively in the team. Now, the problem I have is that he isn't giving us enough going forward in that scenario to afford him the luxury to play 10 games in that position, right? Because realistically, that's the thing Amram is looking at. He's looking at it and saying, Bruno, at least for X, Y, and Z deficiencies, is giving me A, B, C in terms of going forward. Kobe is, for the XYZ deficiencies, is probably only giving me A, or probably only giving me C. He's not really giving me everything I want. And we just have a super chat here from Ed as well. It says Mayu could be number 8 if he worked on fitness, his first touch, passing, shooting, defensive positioning, mentality, vision, agility, leadership, work ethic, tackling, max tax limit reached. Yeah. Io, your response to what I just said and what Ed is also saying.
Yeah, So I think I'll start with your point, and I think you're absolutely correct. So it took Bruno about 10 games, to really get into that position, and even still, we'll still see, those, for instance, going against Wolves, Bruno could have actually done a lot better and wouldn't have considered that goal, and a few other games like that. And when you look at the way, and I think Amorim understands and sees that, and which is why most of the games in which Mayu has come in has not been games where people are trying to chase us for goals, right? There are games where we've had all of these amazing space where you also can actually have, you can remove Casemiro and you can bring in Mayu to actually, support Bruno in those sort of things. And which is again what happened with Bournemouth. I think we did the same thing with Everton as well, where he has all of that space, and the body is not thinking about the defense. We're focused a lot more around attack, and let's find someone that can actually hold the ball a little bit and control it. So I think but the biggest problem that we have with Mayu, and I was saying this at the beginning of the season, was that we have very limited games, and games are very, very few, and far in between each other. So the game that Mayu started this season was the Grimsby game, right? And that was like, the game where would have given people like what's the name? Zegzi, Ugarte, and the likes, and all of these other fringe players to have the opportunities to actually play. At least we probably have played 3 or 4 other games, right, till now. But then unfortunately, the game went the way it went. We lost, and we're not playing in Europe, so which means that you can't play every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks, and that again, that's gone. So you only have Premier League, right, for everybody to actually then compete, and you can't also be changing the team, because the moment you start changing the team, you then have all this conversation around, because you have a lot of changes, then the team is not consistent, they are not understanding the patterns of play and stuff like that. So I think everything really right now is happening because, number one, we're not playing enough games to actually allow everybody to play. And then you would only have players who are pretty much very ready to actually play, and you can only ever make 5 substitutions in a game. There are games basically this season that we don't even have the luxury to make all those 5 substitutions because we have injuries, not all the players are available, and things like that. So I think this season is what it is, and I understand, I think just in defense of Mayu and the United fans, especially the English United fans, I think there is always this pride about a United player being in the World Cup team. And if you look at this World Cup, it is basically clear that there would not be any United player unless Tuchel then thinks about bringing in what's the name, Mount, right?
Mason Mount.
Yeah, that's
Money Mace.
So he's the only hope that English.
Oh, Luke Shaw has a chance. Luke Shaw has a chance as well, just because he's playing.
Yeah. Yes, or Luke Shaw, and that is basically what is happening. So everyone that's looked at it was like, oh well, what is?
Wait, hold the phone. Isn't Marcus Rashford still a United player?
Nah,
oh God.
he's still a United player. Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
Mag born and bred. from
Well,
within
And
show.
he's not going to leave until after the World Cup, so he'll
well,
still be
I
a
mean,
United player.
it would be Barca. It would be a Barcelona player, and that's the thing. So United fans actually wonder, and it's for a football like Menu. I really wish, and I think you guys have talked about this earlier. I really wish they had someone that could actually help him understand that, hey, you can only try, right? But also there's probably other World Cups. But again, the career as a footballer is also very short. Unfortunately, you can get an injury and it wrecks the entire, remaining of your career as a footballer. So I think that is really what's happening. But I'll just summarize again. We have limited games. The game states, is going to allow him to sort of like get into that. But also, I think Min is going to play and start most of the FA Cup matches the same way he started the Grimsby game. If we're unfortunate and we get out of FA Cup, again, that's a lot. One less competition, and we can't really compete in that regard. That's my thinking.
Yeah, that's fair. Rishi, since somebody said Mount, it's time for you to talk. Rishi.
He doesn't want to talk about him.
I gotta go.
No,
I gotta go. I just want to quickly. This is an awesome chat, Andy. You're doing a great job. I love the trio with the Muppet guy and Semix. It's great. Just 3 things. Number 1, I don't care about a midfielder. I don't care about defense. We need another goalie. If Lamens is injured, we're screwed.
Oh,
That's a fact. Okay. We need another goalie ASAP. The other thing is it's weird between, I don't see, it's not a competition between Bruno and Maino. It's a competition between Casemiro and Maino, in my opinion. Casemiro is great in the spaces, but every time he has a ball, shit breaks. Maino is the other way around. When he has a ball, I'm totally happy, but he just can't work the spaces. So that's kind of the thing that has to change. And the future I see is Bruno Maino. It worked in the last game. I think it was pretty good, and there's hope. And I just to say goodbye to everybody. Love you all. Expectation is the death of inspiration. Just keep your expectations where they're supposed to be. Be realistic about it. We are exactly where we belong, and we're getting better. If I think of the old Ten Hag games, man, it gave me stomachache. I couldn't, what the hell was going on. And it's just so much better. The last game was just, I'm worried about Sunday. Just quickly, score predictions for Sunday, because I got to go now. I got an appointment.
Art, can I just say something? You said we need a new goalkeeper, and we're all talking about having a new midfielder. Maybe we just bring Onana back and play him in midfield, right? That's where he wants to play anyways. But yeah, score predictions. I already said 2-2. I think Rishi said 2-1 loss. Shaylin, what did you say yesterday or 2 days ago? Or did you even give us one?
I didn't give you guys a prediction. No.
Okay, what is it? Go on.
7-0.
I'm putting my money on you,
Manchester United.
7-0.
We're correcting Aston Villa's XGA underperformance in this game.
One game.
We're gonna do it in
I
one
like
game.
that.
And why don't we score 7 goals from 3 XG so that we cover our XG underperformance as well?
Exactly.
There we go. Okay.
Excellent.
Or we just score 4 goals from 0 XG, right? Just bang him in from like the corner, all Olympicos,
like
Shauna,
midfield.
Yeah, Shauna, give us your score prediction.
I think yesterday I said 2-0. 2-0 loss, but considering the 7-0 prediction previously, I would go now, level it out to 2-2. Hope that the 7-0 has given me. So let's go with the 2-2
optimism,
now.
Yeah. What about you, EO?
So I do not think we're going to lose the match. I think United is going to win 3-1 or 4-1. I think we're scoring a lot of goals these days.
Sorry, Ed says 4 own goals from Victor Lindelof. Let's go. Let's go.
Well, and the thing is, looking at the team right now, I think we've been able to get goals outside of Mbumo and Ahmad. Ahmad is really, that's the one I'm really worried about. Ahmad's absence, but I think we would beat them 3-1. I don't think we'll keep a clean sheet. So I'd say 3-1. As much as possible. Bruno, Cunha, and maybe Sesko.
All right. Let's go. Awesome, cool. Art, you got your score predictions, mate.
We're gonna
and you-
lose. I'm just saying. I have to
Right.
say that. That's my superstition. Choose you guys.
All
Gotta go. Bye-bye.
See ya. Bye. All right, guys. We're towards the end of the stream. Let's bring Landre in. Landre, either you got some surgery done there, or that's what your ceiling looks like.
He's keeping up with the lore of just popping
That's
out
my
of
fault,
nowhere.
my bad. I didn't even realize I was in the show. Sorry.
Oh, I just brought you on. It's okay. I just got you on like 2 seconds ago. Okay.
And he's
Maybe
gone.
not.
With
He was
Landre, it's
cooking.
always like it's always like, where's Waldo? You never know where he's gonna pop up.
Yeah.
I just want to say.
I thought he was at the dentist. I thought he was at a dentist appointment.
Yeah. Dentist who's got a microwave in his office. Okay, we got Landre back. Oh, Landre's taking a seat. Wow, look at that.
Yes, yes.
Now
And he's got light on his face. I have no complaints.
The apron looks cute on you, Landry. Why'd you take it off, man? Come on.
Oh, come on, guys. I didn't know you saw the apron. I was trying to get it off before you guys saw it.
I actually didn't see it. Shaylin's on his guard. EO, by the way, are you Nigerian?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. How do you,
Yeah,
you guys
yeah.
know each other?
No.
He just knows by his face.
I don't need to know
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. That's I guessed it from the name as well because it said EOI right before you changed it. Yeah.
that's
Nice,
correct.
very nice. So go on, Landre. What's your
I'm
your
tired
thoughts on the game?
Talk, man. We've probably spoken about Mayu. This stream has probably spent like 1,000 hours speaking about Mayu. It's just I'm tired of it. Amorim is a better man than me. If I was Amorim and I saw his brother wear that, I'm sending him straight to the gulag, right?
Yeah.
That's why he's the coach and I'm not. Because if I saw that, oh yeah, you're done. You're done.
Hold on, I'm sending Jordan Mainu to the gulag just for looking like a Love Island piece of shit.
I'm
Okay,
saying,
the T-shirt is different.
And I just wanna
Guys, I heard this. I heard this other thing. I heard this other thing. You said Amorim's a better man, right? Imagine if Amorim's brother turned up with a black T-shirt saying bench menu. How would that? Like, people are still giving explanations for, oh, Kobe didn't know it was his brother, right? Would they not blame Amorim?
Yeah. But I think Mayu has to be very careful. That's all I'm gonna say at this point. Because we saw what happened with Pogba and his brothers. I don't know if you guys heard all that drama.
About the pig buried inside Old Trafford?
Buried, all that crazy
No. It was a hyena specifically.
around you.
Oh, it was a
your
hyena,
family
right?
members
Yeah.
who are gonna want to take advantage of you. And I think
Pig is haram, bro.
That's all I'm gonna say about Mayu.
But I think there's a whitewash about Menu. I love Menu, and this is probably not going to be the best thing. But there's also, if you think about a year ago, there was this whole brouhaha about Menu's contract situation. Nobody knows what the truth is right now, right? But the truth is, this guy has still not extended his contract, right? The news then was that he wanted to be paid in hundreds of thousands, right? And now Ineos has come in, and Ineos is saying we're trying to level up, the wage, the wage bill, and make sure that they're not overpaying.
Can I? Sorry, EO. I'm so sorry to interrupt you, dude.
That's okay.
Like Landre said, we spent 1,000 hours talking about Menu, and I actually feel like throwing a few computers at the wall right now because I'm absolutely fed up, dude. I think can we move on, Andy? I'm so sorry, EO, to interrupt you, but I'm just fed up of this because we've talked about Menu enough. There's enough that's been dedicated to him. I pray that he wins a Ballon d'Or someday because I don't even care if people go and point at us and say that, oh, we were right all along. Menu was world class. Amorim was ruining him. I don't care if today it guarantees me that we don't talk about him for even one more minute. I don't care if in the future he wins a Ballon d'Or and we are proven wrong. I don't care. I'm just done with Menu, dude. I'm done with Menu. Right?
Yeah.
Like some of my mount energy is going to Menu right now. Yeah, my mount energy is going to Menu, and it's not even the guy's not even played. Like imagine a guy who's played less than Menu, right? So I'm fed up of this Menu topic because he's dominating the conscience so much that I don't.
Let's just bring back Scott McTominay.
I said the same thing, dude. I said the same thing. I said that to Nelson. And he said, "Oh, that is scandalous. oh, that just doesn't sit right with me. No way you said that. No way. And I said, dude, come on. Obviously, Scott McTominay is a Ballon d'Or nominee. He showed more
Yeah.
desire for the team than
Number
Menu has
18.
ever shown.
Also, by the way, his interview, speaking of Scott McTominay, the interview he did with Kate Scott on CBS Golazo almost had me crying. And then I realized this is just a club I support, not like my real life.
Rashford had the celebration. McTominay lives that celebration. That's
Yeah,
absolutely
right there.
Because, dude, he not only did he defend the club, he called out every single one of these idiots, talking about it's the mentality, it's the confidence of the player to do it in one situation, not do it in another situation. He was calling out Garnacho, he was calling out Rashford, and guess what? These guys are so stupid, they probably didn't even realize he was calling them out. He's like, oh, big up McTominay, Scotty McSauce spitting facts, hashtag freedom. Fucking idiots. I'm sorry, I have to swear because this is what I'm talking about. If we had more people like Scott McTominay, I probably don't have a channel. I genuinely probably don't. I don't have a channel. Like nobody wants to listen to me. It's because of these idiots that I have the platform, and everyone that's saying they're sick of talking about Mayu, bro. Who do you think leads the stream? Every day I have to think about topics, and every day it's Kobe Mayu. So I'm probably saying his name in my sleep, and my wife's like, "What the fuck?"
It's okay. Just say Bruno's name.
Oh yeah, because that's much better.
Or you guys, we should talk about Aiden Heaven because actually, I did want to bring this up in a second because Aiden Heaven, there was a comment that Bruno made in that interview where he's talking about how the dressing room is like different and it's like changed like quite a bit, right? And he says that like Heaven is the one player that like plays apparently like a lot of like pranks on people during this time. Yeah. But then when he gets onto the pitch, it's just like a switch. Different. Just like he's locked in, he's focused. He's like out of the pitch. It's like, okay, whatever, fine. But on the pitch, it's like he's giving you exactly everything you see. The more I keep like finding out about this kid, like the more I'm just like, what a gem.
No, he's definitely a hidden gem in my opinion. And I like when he came on, I know he had a weird game against West Ham because of the yellow card. But when we played that Wolves game, I was like, I want Aiden Heaven to just go in and start because he's bringing something to this team that I think this team really needs. And the only way we can get that if we don't start him is we go out and we spend big money. So I'm absolutely excited for Aiden Heaven.
Guys, I said this more than 5 streams ago after the Wolves game that he's better than Euro, and people went crazy at me. People went crazy.
I think it was Nelson. Nelson wanted to have my head when I said that in Discord too. Yeah, like Nelson.
I said it on stream. I think Semix was here. I think Nelson was here on stream as well. And I don't blame them because listen, Euro is champagne, and I want him to be really good as well. But I'm telling you right now, it's Heaven, guys, Heaven all the way. And Ed says all the hate he got here, and you never heard a peep from him. 10 Bald needs to be put in prison. I think he's talking about Scott McTominay. And you know what the thing I liked about Scott McTominay as well? He's so removed from the narratives that are going on. He's like, what do you mean I didn't have a good season? I scored 10 goals. That's what he said. And that's what I loved about him. I'm like, you're so right. You scored 10 goals for Man United in your last season and then went on to get the Ballon d'Or. So it was just a natural progression up. It wasn't like he went from, from irrelevance to superstardom. Yeah.
I just want to say, just to buttress Lionel's point on Haven. So somebody mentioned earlier that United over the last few games have been playing a lot more centrally, and I think that is really because of Evan. So Evan has
absolutely
he's very calm on the ball. He knows how to maneuver, and I think he did something against. I'm not sure if it was it Bournemouth? Yeah, it was Bournemouth. Yeah, because I was watching the match again yesterday, and where he sort of drove the ball, himself all the way up, and then I think he lost it, and then Bruno was able to help him get the ball back. And I was just like, this is not something you'd find deletes do, right? Or you find someone like you. I think Euro tries to drive the ball sometimes, but not with such elegance and such control. And I think that you're gonna say.
I have a point about Euro. Sorry to cut you off. Euro, I think because Amorim is this kind of guy where he wants a left center back on the left. He's very down to the details. But I think Euro is way more comfortable playing left center back than playing right center back. And even when he drives out with the ball, he drives out like an inside winger. So when he drives out with the ball when he's playing right center back, he looks so wonky. When he drives out with the ball playing left center back, I don't know if you guys remember that. Was it Sociedad game or Bilbao Europa League? Watch that game back. Euro was driving out like crazy. It was insane. I think Euro is also maybe suffering from being played on the right too much. But
I just want to add one point regarding the Euro thing that Landry mentioned. On the right hand side, I agree with you completely because I've observed him like multiple times where when you receive the ball from like the central centre back, for example, when Shaw receives the ball, he stops it on his left foot.
Yeah.
Euro seems to he just seems to let it run across, and then like it's like a last moment pass to Ahmad, and it's like it doesn't feel controlled. For example, when you look at Heaven, it's like he draws people in against Wolves. I think, and Andy, you had that one video with Heaven where he draws the press, he passes to Casemiro, and
It was on
then the
Strand
whole
Larson. It was on Strand Larson where he got the yellow
exactly,
card.
exactly. So it's like Euro seems to be I don't know whether he's uncomfortable or what he wants to do with it, but it's like he lets it run across, and at the last moment it's like the pass to the wing back. It just doesn't seem, it doesn't seem under control for me. And I agree, he looked better on the left side last season, but again the main topic is Heaven, and Heaven is absolutely, I think, a gem.
No, yeah, but I think also like Euro has also said, I think he said it on in his chat with Rio. I think last year where Rio asked him which side he likes to play, and was like, yeah, he prefers to play on the left. So I think
did he?
Yeah, he did. He said that on his chat with Rio. You can check it out. Yeah.
But it's Edko, go ahead.
Listen, you guys could glaze the marauding into the midfield. You guys could glaze all that. That's not what's getting us goals, but that is what's leaking us goals because they're more of ball-playing defenders instead of actual defenders. They do not get stuck in. They don't defend. What are we talking about, guys?
Oh my God.
Why are we glazing?
We'll just outscore. We're just
Well,
gonna
we
outscore
don't.
everyone. Ed.
We don't.
We'll do it.
We have 20. We have 400 shots a game, and we don't outscore. What are we talking about?
Come on.
But wait, how many games have you seen Heaven and Euro played though? It's like 2 games.
2 games. They're gonna get better, Echo. They're gonna get better.
I know, but they need to get guys. We need them to smash into people. They can't be scared. It's like buying a Ferrari. It's buying a Ferrari and driving at 40 miles an hour or kilometers.
I mean, if you're on the street, you can't run more than.
We use kilometers in Canada, bro. Like, at least use a Canadian accent. Why'd you gotta do the
Well, welcome as the 51st state. You'll be changing soon, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm just glad he didn't attempt an Indian accent while saying kilometers.
Yeah. The channel is inner Apu. Channel is inner Apu.
I agree with you guys are saying. It's exciting, right? It's exciting seeing your center back drop the shoulder. I love that as well. But in our defense, we need defense, not center backs dropping the shoulder. We've seen Lenny Yoro a couple games where he's playing as the right center back maraud into that space, and it created so much space. I think it's more important in those positions to be doing it instead of where Aiden Heaven does it. Because if Aiden Heaven gets dispossessed, one more second.
These are 19 and 20-year-old center backs. If you are getting excited by the potential, what's the harm? Because that's all we have right now, right?
It's not like my fault that they're 19 or 20.
It's not.
I just want.
It's not. Yeah, Edco, I get it, but let's be realistic. From now until at least the 1st of January, these are the players you play with, right? It's not like you have prime PK and prime Ramos or prime Thiago Silva playing there.
Correct.
So
I understand that.
This is what we have, and if there are people who are getting excited about the potential of a young centre back, then I don't know what's wrong with it. Like, I get your gripe that we need better players. Absolutely, in the summer, I think we should sign at least 3 centre backs. We should be replacing Shaw.
Not better players.
Absolutely.
They're good players.
But this is what I think about our team right now. So, every time I rewatch the 4th goal that Bournemouth scored. And I get that, we could talk about Bruno and Mayu, Mayu missing his man and Bruno evacuating the space. But I thought that, if that was Arsenal and Ahmad was an Arsenal player, Ahmad would actually take that card. He would take a card rather than the guy actually going and take a foul. And I just think that's a little bit of, the mentality that is currently not in that team. So the team is still really very careful, let us play. And
Bernardo
you
Silva
remember,
absolutely obliterates that wing back.
Also,
Just like you
guys,
said,
I think
Bernardo
we
Silva
have a short-term memory loss here because if I'm not wrong, West Ham game was the first game that Aiden Heaven played. And in the first half, we all said he's way too physical. He's getting too stuck in. He's being too rash, and he's getting booked. He got booked, right? In the Bournemouth game, he decided, okay, maybe I need to calm down on the physicality, and then that's what we got, right? So I actually think Heaven is the guy who already has the physicality, and he has the ability to get stuck in, but he just kind of calmed it down for the Bournemouth game. So maybe in this game we see him find a balance of being the right amount of physical, not being the right amount of physical. Where I agree with Ed completely is we've seen more than a year of Euro, and he's shown me that he's not physical enough, right? It's like somebody put a 5'6" center back in a 6'3" body, right? That's what he reminds me of. He's like too timid, like
You know
he's
what it
I
is
don't know.
with him too?
Yeah.
At times he looks really fast, and then at other times he just looks like he's so slow.
It's mental. It's mental. It's just it's how your muscles respond to what you're thinking.
But I think they're both great players, right? I just want them to be a little more physical. That's it. I think if they're gonna play together, I think one of them needs to step up, and I think it needs to be Heaven.
Well, they should have played
He's
together.
great.
That's the thing.
But we don't have, like Rishi said, we don't have a choice though.
Yeah,
we don't have a choice, and I understand that. But they need to bring in one more guy. We just need one that could come in. So if De Ligt and Maguire are injured, it needs to be
Andy and I said this in the Stat Padders episode, the recent Stat Padders episode. Marco Senesi from Bournemouth. He's a left-footed centre back, experienced. He's out of contract in summer of 2026. I think we could put in an offer for 10 million to Bournemouth, and we might get him.
This January?
Yeah,
this January. Yeah, absolutely. He's out of contract.
He's got 6 months on his contract. He's got 6
shout.
months on his contract. Yeah.
If we don't get Guehi, like Sean said, but
we're not
everybody wants Guehi.
we do not rate Gay, to be honest.
There's no chance. I don't rate Gehi as highly as other people because he's an aerial liability in the box. People don't realize this about him, but he's actually an aerial liability, and he's playing in a back three, right? That American dude Richards, right? The centre back for Palace. Yeah, he's
Chris
the most.
Richards, I think.
Chris Richards. He's the most aerially dominant presence in that back three. Not Lacroix and not Gehi. So if we are looking at getting to that Arsenal level, and because Arsenal is the team that needs to be challenged for the title in the near future, right? Pep's gone, Maresca's coming in his place, so bye City, right? And Liverpool's downfall has already started, inshallah. So we have Arsenal to contend with. And if Arsenal are the team which has got defensive, physical behemoths who are brilliant in the air, in the next 3 years, that is the team that we have to build like, or have to start thinking of how we'll compete. Now, the answer is either you build like a tiki-taka team like Prime Barcelona, which is not possible these days because no one plays like that, or you build a team like Arsenal, which is good on the ball but physically very capable. So,
by the way, that's also the
there.
reason. That's also the reason I like Semenyo as a shout to be added to our front line, because that guy is a tank. When you see him running, like anyone that comes up against, if I would have been worried for my life if I was Dallo after that tackle. To be honest with you.
Dude. I'm pretty sure Kerwin rates him big time. I can like tell all the attributes he's looking at. He's like got those thick thighs, big bunda, thick thighs, 82, 83 kg at 5'11". You know, he's perfect for this league.
I think we should. With that, I think we should probably get Rishi some sleep. He's being a bit.
Yeah, listen, we need to bring in Dan Burn. Solves all our problems.
No, come on, no.
Yeah.
Bring in big
dude,
Dan Burn.
But Burn's been horrible this season. I don't know if you followed him this season.
Cheap, and he'll be good for us.
No, but how about Dunk? How about Lewis Dunk? I know he's old, but I feel like he could.
Guys, I'll tell you a shout. Okay, I'll tell you. So go watch the Brighton versus Aston Villa game that finished 3-4. Van Hecke, right? Van Hecke, the goal he scored was insane, but also he's a very good
right in that game.
I don't remember, but I'm talking about the last one that he scored. But Van Hecke would be a pretty good center back for us, especially as the left center back. And he definitely has the experience. Now, whether he matches your physicality test, here's the thing, right? Christian Romero at Tottenham is a very physical center back. I would not go anywhere near him. that guy's a walking red card.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
he just like
I
slides
love red
into everything.
I love
Yeah, on
Not-
the other team. Yeah, when he's at Tottenham, I love him getting a red card. Not at United though. That's my problem with him. But anyways, guys, we've been live for over 2 hours. It's time to wind it up. We've got most of your predictions. Edko's already said we're going to lose 7-0 or something. I remember him saying about the Villa game. Or he said 3-1.
Minimum 3-1. It could be 5.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's go. So I think we've got all your predictions, right? Landry, maybe yours is the only one I forget.
Don't have
we
only
get, what
the
we
prediction. I have a game states. I have a game moment. 2-0 up. Villa pushing for a goal, trying to get back in the game. Shea Lacey comes on. Bang, goal, 3-0. La Carrington fans are happy. Us normal fans are happy. And we ride off into the sunset. You know, forget all the warring factions of the past. That's my prediction. 3-0, Shea Lacey, final goal.
Yeah. I think Landry needs to put that bib back on. Maybe he's cooking a little too much.
Free the apron.
Well, I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's cooking. He's playing 4D chess, you know. Amorim brings on Shea Lacey. All of a sudden, no one talks about Kobe Mayu anymore.
Yeah. Free Shea Lacey after that, right?
All right.
Yeah.
Free
Anyways.
JJ, it'll be JJ. Free JJ.
Yeah, free JJ. Honestly, guys, free me from this Kobe Mainu talk, please. Paul Scholes, at least wait another week before you come and react to this situation. Because as far as I know, as soon as we go off live here, Paul Scholes is going to drop his podcast and he's going to say, back in my day, you know, if Phil Neville came out with a free Gary Neville shirt, we would have crucified him. But today, it's totally fine. Yeah, nonsense. Anyways, guys, we'll see you tomorrow, man. Thank you so much for the live. Please drop a like on the stream. Please make sure you leave a comment after the stream is done as well. Helps with the algorithm. If you guys want to have your say, please do join in tomorrow. The earlier you join, the better it is for you to get a chance. Because I feel like at the end of the show, we have like 500 people that want to talk. And at the beginning, I'm just like, you know, picking out whoever wants to come in and have a chat. So come in earlier if you want to get a chance, guaranteed chance to get on the show. And thank you guys to the panel here. EO, great first showing. Shaunak, thanks again for joining. Rishi as well. Shaunak and Rishi both. It's 2 a.m. in the morning, by the way. So this is some real hustle right there. But yeah, Landry, thank you for leaving your kitchen duties aside and joining us as well. And Edko, as always, the ever optimist. We'll see you again, man.
See you.
Bye.
Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.